talk me out of it. It's no use, I tell you. I've made up my mind.
But he's still your husband.
Yeah, well, he won't be for long. I hate him, I tell you, I hate him.
But you loved him once.
Yeah, what did I know about love? I was just a young kid full of romantic ideas. Then he comes along and feeds me all that stuff about spend the rest of my life living like a queen. And I believed him. Oh, you don't know what it's been like living with a man like that all these years. Every time he kisses me, I get violently sick inside. Oh, it's no use, I tell you. I've got to get rid of him.
But you can't resort to murder.
It's the only way out. I'm killing him tonight.
Oh, you're wonderful, Alice. You know the lines perfectly. Oh, you're going to be great in the play.
Oh, thanks, Trixie. I just hope I'll be as good as you are.
Oh, you'll be wonderful. Just wait till Ralph sees you up on that stage. Hey, you haven't told him about it yet, have you?
No, Ralph would be furious. Even though the club is doing this thing for charity, Ralph hates to see me get up on a stage. He says I, have no talent and I embarrass him.
When he sees you on that stage and you're a hit, he'll feel differently. You know, I haven't told Ed that I'm in this play either because I was afraid he would tell Ralph. Yeah. Oh, these husbands are all alike. They never think that you can do anything.
Well, and when those two... Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Come in.
Here's the medicine from the drugstore.
Oh, thanks, honey. Wait a minute. I'll give you a tip. Gee, I don't have any change. Here, how about a banana?
No, thanks. I'm not a monkey.
Well, how about a nice tangerine?
No, thanks.
What's the matter? Don't you like fruit?
No, it ain't that. See, everywhere I go, I never get money anymore. They always offer me grapes and pears and apples and tangerines. If this keeps up, I'll have to trade in my bicycle for a push cart.
How do you like that?
Hey, Alice, what's this medicine for?
Oh, this isn't medicine. These are vitamin pills for Ralph. The doctor said it'd be good for him, and, well, you know what a baby Ralph is.
Yeah.
So I decided tonight I'll just drop one in his tomato juice and come home for dinner.
Alice, do you think we ought to rehearse those lines just once more?
You know something? That'd be a very good idea.
Yeah.
But, Trixie, today I've been so busy rehearsing the lines and getting dinner ready, I haven't even made up the bed yet. Come on in the bedroom with me. We'll run over the lines while I'm straightening up. Okay?
Great.
Now, don't try to talk me out of it. It's no use, I tell you. I've made up my mind.
But he's still your husband.
Yeah? Well, he won't be much longer. I hate him, I tell you. I hate him.
But you loved him once.
Yeah, what did I know of love? I was just a young kid with romantic ideas. So he fed me all that stuff about spending the rest of my life like a queen, and I believed it. Well, you don't know what it's like living with a man like that all these years. Every time he kisses me, I get violently sick inside. I've made up my mind. I've got to get rid of him.
Oh, but you couldn't resort to murder.
That's my only way out. I'm killing him tonight.
Alice, does your mother know about this?
Well, when I told her about it, she was all for it.
How about the old lady being all for it? One of these days. Pow! Right back. Don't let on we know anything about what they just said. We'll make believe we just walked in here. I'm going to handle this my own way. Shut the door. Alice, it's me. I'm home.
Oh, hello, Ralph. Hi, Ed.
Hi, Alice.
Gee, I'm glad you're home early, honey. I fixed you a wonderful dinner. Everything you like. Roast beef, mashed potatoes, apple pie. I hope you're hungry.
I was, but I sort of lost my appetite.
I guess I'll go up and fix dinner.
Oh, wait a minute, Trixie. I'll go with you. I want to borrow your carving knife.
Sure.
Did you hear that, pal? Yeah. She wants to borrow a carving knife. I never thought I'd end up a blue plate special. Get a load of the meal she's got ready for me. Roast beef, mashed potatoes, apple pie. I'm wise to her. She's trying to fatten me up so I'll be a better target.
And the condemned man ate a hearty meal.
Will you shut up? What is she doing this for? I've been a perfect husband all my life. I know I haven't made enough money to take her to nightclubs and buy her fancy clothes and all of that. But I've been a perfect husband. Why should she want to do this all of a sudden?
Yeah, you'd think she'd done it years ago.
Did you hear what she said about her never loving me? Like when we were first married, she couldn't wait till I got home from work. She was always waiting with my slippers, my pipe, my papers.
Waiting at the door, huh?
At the door, down by the subway. know, of all the things she said, the one thing that got me right here was when she said whenever I kissed her, she got violently sick.
How do you feel when she kisses you?
Oh, I'm still in love with her. Ed, I'm still in love with her. When I kiss her, I get weak, knees tremble, I break out in a sweat.
How do you like that? She makes you sick, too, huh?
I never thought it would come to this.
Let me tell you something. You never can tell about marriages, Ralph. Take my brother Willie, for instance. He got married. It was beautiful at first. Beautiful. Just like it is with all newlyweds, you know. Then, as the newness of the marriage wore off, and they got into the routine, they didn't like each other. Matter of fact, as time went on, they couldn't stand aside of each other.
How long were they married?
4 days.
Norton, you're a mental case. Well, I ain't taking this laying down, see? I'm not taking it laying down. I'm not going to commit suicide over this. Oh, that's what she'd like me to do, to commit suicide. I kill myself before I commit suicide.
I think I hear Alice coming down the stairs now.
All right, don't crack that we know anything. I want to handle this my way.
Sorry I was so long, honey. Sit down. Dinner will be right on the table.
Norton, I think you better run along upstairs. I'd like to have a talk with my wife alone.
Yeah. See you tomorrow, Ralph. I hope.
I'll be with you in a minute, honey.
Alice, this might come as news to you, but I'm on to your entire game.
What do you mean?
Down with that. Look out. You know what I mean. I heard you in the bedroom with Trixie.
Oh.
I heard you. I'll hate him. I hate him. I'll kill him.
Listen, Ralph. I know how you feel, but I've been in a mental rut lately. Everything gets so dull. And you gotta understand, Ralph, this is something that I have always wanted to do.
I suppose your mother likes it too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, it was my mother's idea.
What does your father think of that idea?
Oh, he likes it. He said he'd like to buy tickets and see it.
He did, huh?
Yeah, all my relatives are excited about it. My sister may even come in from Pittsburgh.
You're pretty cool about this whole thing, aren't you? I suppose you'll go out and celebrate when it's over.
Well, as a matter of fact, my friends are giving a cocktail party for me.
Well, I did it. I did it. I'm leaving.
Now, listen, Ralph, you just sit down and calm down.
Leave me alone.
Oh, come on. It's not that important. You're getting all excited. Sit down here and drink your juice.
What did you put in that tomato juice?
A vitamin pill.
A vitamin pill? A vitamin pill? You got the gall to tell me that was a vitamin pill? After I heard you in the bedroom with Trixie, planning to kill me, going upstairs for a carbonite, and just because I didn't give you the chance to use it, now you're trying to poison me and tell me that that's a vitamin pill? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
So that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. All right, Ralph. That is poison in there. And if I can't kill you, I'm going to kill myself.
Wait a minute! What did you do? Alice! Sweetie! Wait a minute, baby! I love you! I love you, baby! Well, I love you! Because of you, Dr. Put one killed me, she took poison! Rubber hands, I'll get the first aid box. Alice, I love you, baby. Norton, I'm too nervous. You look up poison. Baby, I love you. You mean everything in the world to me. Please, honey.
His copper. I got a copper.
Cover my top. What the look up poison? Sweetie, I love you.
Hey, here's poison. What does it say? Take the whites of 2 eggs and
Whites of
drink
2
with a
eggs.
mixture of vinegar and milk.
Mixture of vinegar and milk. She's getting hysterical. She's going nuts now. Take it easy, baby.
Of course I'm hysterical. I wasn't trying to kill you, honey. What you heard was Trixie and I rehearsing lines for the play our club is putting on.
Norton?
Get out. We're going to have a fight. Alice, for the first time since I've been married to you, I'm going to beat you up.
Oh, no, you're not, Ralph.
Oh, I'm not, huh?
No, you're not, because you love me. I'm everything in the world to you.
Yeah? Who said that?
You said that just a minute ago when you thought I'd taken the poison.
Oh, I did I?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I do.
Oh.
Want to say, Alice?
Hi, Ed.
Ralph home from work yet?
No, but I'm expecting him any minute. He's bringing a friend home for dinner.
Hey, boy, everything looks ritzy. Candles, tablecloth, horse derbies.
Thanks, Ed.
Why don't you let Trixie know you're giving a dinner party? She would have lent you our waxed fruit.
That reminds me, Ed, listen. When Trixie serves dinner, does she serve it from the left or from the right?
Neither. She just says it's on the stove, get it yourself. Hey, boy, that's terrific. Ralph must be bringing home somebody special, huh?
Oh, he sure is. He's bringing home the traffic manager from the depot.
Oh.
See, this guy's a single fella, and he was, talking to Ralph the other day, complaining about eating in restaurants all the time. So Ralph asked him up here for a nice home-cooked meal.
Oh. Who else is coming? You got 4 places set.
Ah, that was my idea. See, I got to thinking about what Ralph said with, this guy, single, good job and everything. I figured he'd be a pretty good catch for some girl. So I asked Henrietta.
Who's Henrietta?
Oh, she's the new girl that just joined the ladies' auxiliary, with Trixie and me. I don't think she goes out very much, but even if she does, what's she got to lose, This guy's got a good job, single and everything.
She's not married either.
Oh, no. Of course, I didn't tell her about Ralph's friend because I didn't want to embarrass her,
Well, I tell you, this is something
Yeah.
really lovely. Want to know something?
What?
I hope something comes of this. Trixie and I met at a dinner party.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I can remember her first words to me. She leaned over and she said, "If you're not going to eat your cauliflower, I'll finish it for you."
Hello, Ed.
Hello.
Hello, Alice.
Is that the cake I asked you to bring?
Yeah, that's the cake I asked you to bring. And I'll thank you never to ask me again to bring anything home on my way to work. First thing starts, I walk into the bakery shop. There's 30 women in there. They're all screaming and yelling, "Wait on me, wait on me." Then I look up at a sign on the wall. It says, "Pick a number and wait your turn." So I pick a number and I wait my turn. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. Well, I finally waited a half hour. And I walk up to the cashier. I said, "Look, I was here a lot time before these people were here. Now, why haven't they called me?" She says, "Let me see your number." So I showed her the card. I said, "There you are, 249. She says, "You took the price tag off a birthday cake." What are you laughing at?
Oh, I was just thinking how silly you must have felt embarrassed. How dumb you I just come down here to return your bowling shoes. Gee, what a grouch.
That guy is a mental case.
Never mind about him, Ralph. Where's your friend?
He went home to change his clothes.
Oh.
Hey, come here.
Yeah?
What is this?
Oh, that? That's Roquefort cheese with a little chopped chives in it and anchovy paste and then a little clam juice.
Where'd you get the idea for that?
Oh, I got the recipe out of a magazine. I will have you know, my good man, this is what they are serving at the Eisenhower inaugural dinner.
Who's catering the dinner? Democrats?
There is no need for you to complain. Your friend will probably like it.
Yeah?
Anyway, they're only the appetizer.
Only the appetizer, huh?
Yeah.
Well, just take it a little easy. We'll trust in our luck. Just to make sure, don't serve them till after we have dinner.
All right.
Incidentally, what are we having for dinner?
Well, first I thought we'd start with a little Yankee bean soup. Then I'm going to have meatloaf, French fries, peas and carrots. And then for dessert, we'll finish up with fruit cup.
Yankee bean soup, meatloaf, French fries, peas and carrots, and a fruit cup? Any day he could get that in a diner.
All right, Ralph, if you don't like it, why don't you take your friend to a diner?
That won't be necessary. I'll just hang up a sign saying, watch your hat and coat, and he won't know the difference.
Why don't you shut up? There's nothing wrong with this meatloaf. I got the recipe from my mother.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I remember the last time I was at your mother's and we had meatloaf. I could have sawed it in half and used it for bookends. Alice, don't you realize this guy is a very important man to me? He's the traffic manager of the whole bus depot. He's the guy that hands out the routes to all the bus drivers. Next week, a whole bunch of guys are going over to Staten Island, and I don't want to be one of them. Wait a minute. What do you got the place set for 4 for? You know he isn't married. I told you that.
I know that. That's why I asked one of my girlfriends. She's a nice, single girl.
How do you know he's going to like her?
Because everybody likes her.
Yeah? Well, why is she still single?
Look, Ralph. I don't think she gets many opportunities to meet nice, eligible young men, and that's why I invited her over.
Oh, no, you don't. We're not running a friendship club in this joint.
Listen, Ralph, every single fella dreams of meeting a nice, plain, simple girl.
Is that so? Well, then why did they sell 300,000 Marilyn Monroe calendars last year? Look, Alice, I remember the last time I brought one of my bus driver friends over here. You had a plain, simple girlfriend here then, too. And you know what happened.
What do you mean, what happened? They got married, didn't they?
Yeah, they got married, all right. And I take an oath. Every time I'm down at that depot, that guy tries to run me over with his bus.
I'll get it. Now remember, don't start anything. Oh, hi, Henrietta.
Hello, Alice. Here, honey, I brought you cake.
Oh, thanks.
Alice, the funniest thing happened at the bakery.
Yeah?
There was some dope in there, and when he took a number to wait his turn, he took the price tag off a birthday cake.
Let me help you with your coat. Henrietta.
Yes.
I want you to meet my husband.
That won't be necessary. We already met.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cramden. I didn't know you were the dope.
Ralph. Help Henrietta off with her galoshes, Ralph. Sit down here, honey.
Sit down here, honey. Sure is a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, my shoe came off. That always happens.
Oh, it does, huh? Beautiful thing you picked up. I suppose that always happens, too.
Did you hurt yourself, honey?
No, I'm all right. Don't worry. I can get it off.
All right, I tell you what you do, Henrietta. Go in the bedroom, dear, and take it off. And while you're in there, you can freshen up a little bit.
All right, thanks, Alice. I will.
And you'll find a clean towel on the bureau.
Okay.
All right.
You are not trying to hook that monster up with George, are you? What are you trying to do? Get me Shanghai to Staten Island?
Yeah. What is wrong with her?
What is wrong with her? If the Yankee bean soup and the meatloaf don't give him heartburn, she will.
Just a minute, Ralph Cramden. Just a minute. Who are you to talk about looks? You are no Humphrey Bogart.
No, but she is. Now, that's George. Now look at what I gotta put up with.
Hello, Ralph.
Oh, hiya, George. Step in. George, I'd like to meet my wife, Alice.
How do you do? Thanks for the dinner invitation.
Oh, don't mention it. It's a pleasure to have you here. Let me take your coat and I'll put it in the bedroom, and then I want to introduce you to someone.
Now, Alice, I'm very sorry if this is going to embarrass you, but George is a pal of mine, and I might as well explain it to him now.
Ralph.
Please, you got yourself
No.
into this, and I'll get you out of it.
I don't understand.
Well, you see, in Alice's enthusiasm to make this dinner for you, you know, a home-cooked meal, a special occasion, she invited one of her friends up, to have dinner with us, sort of like to be your partner, She figured it all out by herself. She thought you two had a job, making good money, you were single and everything. Trying to play Mrs. Cupid.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't think that would be possible, Mrs. Cramden. You see, I'm already engaged.
There you are. And you had to go to all this trouble. All I can say, pal, is you're a lucky friend to be engaged. Wait till you see this monster. All I can tell you, George, is that when she walks into the room, the mice jump up in the chair. She's so ugly she'll never die. She'll just hug away. Here comes Frankenstein now.
Why, George!
Henrietta!
You know each other?
She's my fiancée! Get your coat, Henrietta.
Why?
Never mind, get your coat and I'll take mine.
What about the home-cooked meal?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Cramden. I know this is not your fault. Ralph, I'd like to see you in the office early tomorrow. I'd like to talk to you about that Staten Island run. Come on.
Baby, if that's his fiancée, we can move to Staten Island. You're the greatest.
Where you been all day? I was down twice and didn't find you.
Oh, boy, don't ask me. What a day I've had. Look at this eye. See how swollen that is?
Did Ralph hit you?
He sure did.
He did?
Oh, not what you think. He threw some socks out of the bedroom door for me to wash, and I missed them. And that's right after he did this morning, you know. You know that dog that Mom has?
Oh, you mean Duke, that big collie?
Yeah. Well, the dog's been awful sick, and it's worried my mom something terrible.
Oh.
So I thought the best thing to do, get up early this morning, go over, get the dog, and take him to the veterinarian's.
Yeah, well, what'd the vet say?
Well, he said I had to leave him there, and he'd send me the report. So I said, well, don't send it by mail. Send a special messenger over with it. I don't want Ralph to find it in the mailbox. You know, he hates that dog.
Oh.
Snaps at him all the time. Boy, if he knew what I was spending on this dog. Oh, boy. You know what it's costing me, Trix?
What?
$10.
$10 to examine a dog?
Ain't that something? Ooh, boy, I went with Ralph the other day when he went to get his checkup at the doctor's. It cost $3. Boy, I'm telling you, kid, if it ain't one thing, it's another.
Oh. Hiya, Trix.
Hi.
Hiya, sweetie.
What's the matter, Trixie? Don't I get nothing?
I'm too tired.
How do you like that? How do you like that? She's tired. I've been working down the sewer all day long.
That's another reason.
Save your jokes for the butcher. My dinner ready?
It's on the stove. It'll be ready in a few minutes. See you later, Alan.
Okay, Trix.
Hey, Ralph.
What?
Tell Alice what you told me what happened on the bus today.
Oh, hey, I gotta tell you this.
Yeah.
I pull up to 58th Street, and the guy gets on a bus, see? No sooner does he get inside, he starts running up and down the aisles. And he's yelling, "I'm George Washington! I'm George Washington! I'm George Washington!" Well, everybody in the bus thinks he's nuts. You know, they're all frightened. He's running around, "I'm George Washington!"
Well, how'd you get rid of him?
I yelled out, "Next stop, Valley Forge," and he got off. That's all. Gotta think fast in these things.
Don't let the soup boil over. I gotta go up on the roof for a minute.
What are you going up there for?
Well, it looks like rain. I gotta get the wash off the line.
Ain't she a doll, pal?
You know something, Ralph? Got a sweet kid there, a sweet kid. Hey, how about you and me go to the Loews Theater tonight? We'll see that picture, High Noon.
I know. I thought you told me you saw that the other night. What do you want to go again for?
I got passes.
You're ready for Bellevue. Nah, I don't want to go to any movies. You know, I ain't been feeling well lately. I didn't tell you, but Alice made me go over to the doctor's and get sort of a checkup, you know, an examination. I went over to that doctor, well, I don't know what his name is, but he did a great job for that Callahan the plumber. Did you hear what he did for Callahan?
Oh, what'd he do?
He kept him alive until his wife finishes up the payments on the insurance. Yeah?
Mrs. Cramden live here?
Yeah?
The doctor told me to deliver this report.
Oh, I'll take that.
He told me not to give it to anyone else but Mrs. Cramden.
I happen to be Mrs. Cramden's husband. Your hand is very dirty. Well, here's the doctor's report, pal.
Well, I hope it's good news, Ralph.
You know, to tell you the truth, I hope there's something a little wrong with me.
Yeah?
I'd like to take a vacation for a couple of days. You know, go down to Paul's Landing or something, go fishing, get some kicks.
What's the matter? What's the matter, Ralph?
What's the matter? Get a load of this. Dear Mrs. Cramden, in compliance with your request, I'm sending this report by messenger rather than mail, because you said you didn't want your husband to see it. I'm afraid it's bad news. My examination shows that a condition of cerebral monochromia exists. This is a rare disease which usually affects only boxers. The first visible signs of the disease will be a falling out of the hair and irritability. There is a tendency for the tongue to turn blue, and he'll tire easily. This will be accompanied by chills, and he'll spend most of his time near a stove. I have enclosed some pills. Give him one a day in a saucer of warm milk. And I suggest you keep him away from your mother, as older people may be susceptible to the germs he carries. Be affectionate. Make him comfortable. And he may live as long as 6 months. I guess that's it. 6 months. I'll be dead by the 4th of July.
Ralph, you listen to me? Don't pay attention to that stuff. I used to work with a guy, the doctor told him he'd be dead in 6 months, too.
Yeah, what happened?
He lived for almost 8 months.
You've got to promise me something, pal.
What?
Never tell Alice that I got this. I don't want her to know anything about this.
No, I won't, but what's going to happen after 6 months? She's going to notice you're not coming home nights.
How about that? Me getting a disease that boxers get. I knew I was a little punchy. Yeah? You know what it is, don't you? It's that pounding I take on the bus every day. Riding up and down Madison Avenue. Well, Norton, there won't be any more bus rides for me. This is the end of the line. I'm headed for that little bus depot up there in the sky. Just a one-way trip with no transfers. You know, I never thought I'd check out like this. I haven't even tasted life yet. It's been a tough struggle all the way. Real rough sledding. Gee, when I was a kid, I started out as a newsboy. Then I got a job in the A&P delivering groceries. Then I got out of school and the Depression set in. In order to eat, I had to shovel snow. That's how I met Alice. She used to hand out the shovels. And then we got married. And I struggled a little more. Finally, I got a job driving the bus, you know. And we struggled a little more. That was 10 years ago, Norton. And we've been struggling ever since. It's a funny thing. I come into this world with strong lungs, weighing 10 pounds, and having pink cheeks. And how am I leaving the world? With a bald head, a blue tongue, and a saucer of milk with a pill in it.
I'll see you, Ralph.
Okay, pal.
Oh, by the way, what size bowling shoes do you wear?
Why?
Well, I just fit. I'll talk to you later.
Well, I'm back, Ralph. I'll walk alone.
Will you stop singing that
I will not. If I want to sing that song, I'll sing it from now until the 4th of July.
song? Okay, sing it then, but don't sing it now.
What are you doing?
Not doing anything.
What do you mean you're not doing anything?
I'm not doing nothing. I'm just looking at my tongue.
What's the matter, Ralph? Don't you feel good?
I feel perfectly all right. It just so happens I want to look at my tongue, that's all.
Well, then why don't you get down to the delicatessen? They got a whole window full of them.
One of these days. One of these days. Pow! Right in the kiss.
Sit down, Ralph, and I'll get you dinner.
I don't want any dinner.
Well, don't you want anything?
Well, maybe I'll have something light. Let me have a saucer of milk.
A saucer of what?
A saucer of milk. And if you don't mind, I'll have it in my bedroom.
Wait a minute. Listen, Ralph, I think you're blowing your top. One of these days, they're going to come and take you away.
That's right, Alice. That's right. One of these days, they're going to come and take me away. Won't that make you happy?
What are you talking about?
Alice, it's time that you and I had a man-to-man talk. I want to ask you something. If anything should ever happen to me and I should die, would you ever marry another guy?
Oh, I don't know. I never gave it much thought.
Well, give it a little thought now. Would you marry another guy?
Oh, no, I don't think so, Ralph. Plus, if the right guy came along and I was a little lonely, who knows?
Well, I can't blame you, Alice. You're in the prime of life. I'm on my way out. I can see it all now. I'm dead. You're running around loose. You meet some guy, and he's got all the jokes and everything. Two of you hit it off pretty good. Well, one thing leads to another, and you get married. And he comes in here, into my apartment to live, with my furniture. And just by luck, he'll be my size. And he'll be able to wear that new overcoat I bought. Alice, you've got to promise me one thing.
What?
If I ever die, you'll bury me in my overcoat.
Look, Ralph, if it'll make you happy, I'll bury you in your bathing suit. Now, listen, what's the matter with you? There's nothing wrong. You're as strong as a horse.
I suppose you never saw a dead horse, huh?
Well, now that you mention it, there is a resemblance.
Trying to steam me, Alice? You trying to steam me? All right, you steam me! I tried to save you a little grief and aggravation, but I'm sick and tired of that now. Read that.
Oh, Ralph, this is great.
Oh, it's great, huh? You'll probably be hysterical at my funeral.
Bald head, blue tongue, a saucer of milk. Oh, Ralph, this is a riot.
It's a riot, huh? We'll see if it's a riot when you have to finish the payments on the icebox.
Oh, Ralph, this is the report from Dr. Morton, the veterinarian. I took Mom's dog over there this morning to have him fixed up and see what was wrong with him.
Fox. Boy. Hey, come here. You are married to the world's #1 maniac.
I love that maniac, Ralph.
I love you, sweetie. $1,432. $4,433.
Hi, Ralph. Gee, I'm sorry I'm late, honey, but Mother wasn't feeling well, so I went over and fixed her dinner. Listen, if you can hold out long enough, we can have dinner when we get back from the department store. Otherwise, if you get very hungry, we can eat dinner tomorrow. I tell you this, we got to hurry because the store's closed at 9 o'clock.
4,439.
Ralph,
4,000.
what are you doing?
Oh, hello, Alice. 4,440.
What are you doing, Ralph?
Oh, on my way home, I passed the Monic Furniture Store. And they got a bowl just like this in the window. And they got jelly beans in it. And right over the bowl is a sign that says, count how many jelly beans are in this jar, and you get a $100 prize. Well, I got an idea. So I went out and bought the same kind of a bowl that was in the window. And I got some jelly beans. There'll be no guessing on my part, and I'm going to win the prize. 4,440.
If you ask me, I think your head is full of jelly beans.
4,000.
Now, listen, put your jacket on, because I want to buy that dress before the store closes tonight. Come on, hurry up. The sale ends tonight.
So does the contest end tonight. I'm not leaving until I finish with these jelly beans. 4,441. 4,442.
4,442 was the last one. That was 43, stupid.
What are you getting me all mixed up for? No, I gotta start all over again.
3,442, stupid.
Stupid, huh? I won't be so stupid when I win the prize. That's all I know. $100 I get.
Yeah?
$100.
Just a moment, Ralph. Last night you couldn't go down to buy the dress with me because you were going to go bowling. And the night before you couldn't go because you were tired. Now tonight we're going to go down and buy that dress because I can get it for $10. And that dress originally cost $39.95. Do you hear me? $39.95.
I don't care what you have to say. I'm not going. 4,432. What? 4,442. 4,443. I wish you'd keep your dresses out of my jelly beans. 4,444.
That's right, bird brain.
Bird brain, huh? All I know is when I get the 100 clams, I'm going down and get my bowling shoes. I'm going to get that leather lumber jacket. And before I'm finished, you're going to have a string of pearls.
Yeah. And if you lose, I'll have a string of jelly beans around my neck. Listen, Ralph, I am going in to fix my makeup. And when I come out of that bedroom, you better be through counting these jelly beans because we're going down to buy that dress.
That's so, huh? When I win this contest, you won't laugh at me. I've always been lucky at contests. Remember last year at Harry's Grove when I won the clam eating contest?
Yeah?
Got
What about
$5 for that. $5.
You sure did. And you spent $7 on Alka-Seltzer.
How about last year when I won the dancing contest?
Well, what about it?
I won the rumba contest, didn't I?
Only because you backed into a hot radiator.
4,443, 4,444,
Oh, boy, Ralph.
4,445,
Where's that, Ralph?
Go ahead in the room and get dressed, and I'll be with you as soon as I finish counting. 4,400 and...
What are you doing, pal?
Hey, Alice. Alice.
Yeah, 3,478.
3,479. 480.
How you doing, pally boy?
Wait a minute till I get a pencil. 4,000. Wait a minute! What did you eat those jelly beans for?
What's the matter? Were they poisoned?
No, they're counted. Now, how many did you eat?
I don't know, 6 or 7. What do you got all these jelly beans for, anyway?
I'm in a contest down at Monarch's department store. They got a jar like this in the window. It's count the jelly beans. You get a $100 prize.
Wait a minute. You waste your time, Ralph. Take it from one of those, you waste your time. All those contests are crooked.
What do you mean, crooked?
I'll tell you. I was in a contest once. You had to name all the states. I got gypped right out of the first prize. I named 66 states. The guy that won only named 48.
You were a mental case. 5, 6, that's 4,450. That's it. Can I go upstairs and use your phone?
No. Trixie's dressing.
Well, the phone's in the kitchen.
That's where she's dressing. There's no window shade in the bedroom.
Look, will you call up the Monica Furniture Store? You tell them it's 4,550.
4,000 what?
550.
550, all
And
right.
as soon as I win the prize, come down and tell me.
I'll be right.
Boy, $100. 4,450. Hey, Alice, I'm finished counting.
Good. Now maybe we can go down and get the dress.
100 clams. Bowling shoes, leather lumberjacket, a string of jelly beans, string of pearls for you.
Ralph, all I want is the dress. That's all. Do you know how long it's been since I had a new dress, Ralph? Do you know how many I've had in the last 2 years? One dress.
What do you mean, one dress? You had a brown dress, a pink dress, a green dress, and a blue dress.
That's right. This is it, and I've run out of dye.
One of these days, pow, right in the kitchen.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you won. You won.
I won?
Yeah.
I won, Alice, I won. $100 prize.
Wait a minute. You're not getting money. The man told me it was a gift certificate.
What do you mean, a gift certificate?
Well, if you buy $1,000 worth of furniture, you get $100 worth free.
What kind of a prize is that?
Wait a minute, don't get excited. It's not a total loss. You can stick your jelly beans in your own window here and run your own contest.
Do you mind leaving me alone?
Okay. Is it all right to take a few of these now?
Go ahead.
You're a sweet kid.
Never mind, Ralph. We still got time to get the dress. If we hurry, we can get down there before the store closes.
$100 gift certificate.
Ralph. Ralph, I had $10 in here I was saving for the dress. Ralph. Did you take the $10 out of here, Ralph? Answer me.
I bought the jelly beans with it. What a mope. I never do anything right. Never. Thought I'd enter the contest, win the cabbage, get a new Thanksgiving outfit. I gotta blow the whole thing. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Ralph. I've got you, and that's plenty to be thankful for.
You're the greatest. Just remember, I'm no dog sled. Finally get a Saturday off. But do I get a Saturday off? No.
What is it? What is it? A big deal because I asked my husband to go shopping with me.
Yeah, it's a big deal. When I go shopping, I don't expect to go on a hunt.
Hunt? What hunt? What hunt?
Don't get cute, Alice. Don't get cute. I'm going to ask you several clear questions, and I want some clear answers. First question. Were we or were we not in a supermarket?
That's what the sign said.
Don't steam me, Alice. Don't steam me, because I'm already steamed. Were we in a supermarket?
Yes, we were in the supermarket.
All right, the next question. In a supermarket, do they sell groceries, meats, and vegetables?
What are you, the Kafava Committee?
Just answer the question, Alice. Do they sell meats, groceries, and vegetables?
Yes, yes, they do. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, then tell me this. Why did we get the vegetables in the supermarket and then walk 8 blocks up the Rockaway Avenue to Angelo's to get the meat?
Very simple. Because at the supermarket, liver is 79 cents a pound, and at Angelo's, it's 76.
Well, now, there's a big deal. You saved 3 cents to get me going 8 blocks. And if that ain't enough, after we come out of Angelo's, we walk all over Fulton Street to go into Charlie's to get groceries.
Well, I saved 8 cents getting the groceries at Charlie's.
That's spread. 3 cents on Angelo's liver. 8 cents on Charlie's groceries, and you got me walking all over the world.
Well, all I know is I saved 11 cents.
You saved 11 cents. How can you say you saved 11 cents when you spent 64 cents for a ridiculous thing like a jar of pickles?
Well, if I hadn't saved the 11 cents, I wouldn't have been able to spend 64 for the jar of pickles.
What are you talking about? If you didn't save the 11 cents, you couldn't spend 64 cents for the jar of pickles.
I'll make it very clear. If I hadn't saved the 11 cents, I wouldn't have been able to spend 64 for the pickles.
You're going crazy. You're going crazy, Alice. I can't even understand you anymore.
I'll make it very clear, Ralph. You gave me a pay envelope last night, right?
Yeah.
$42 in it, right?
Yeah.
This morning I paid the rent. I had your shoes fixed, and I bought all the groceries for the week, and that's it.
You're not going to stand there and tell me that between today and yesterday you spent $42? Where's my $5 allowance?
Well, you gotta use your own money or you don't have any allowance.
What money? I ain't got any money. You said you had the budget figured out where I get $5.
Well, I did, but I had to send your $5 in on the dentist bill.
My $5 on a dentist bill? My $5 on a dentist bill? One of these days. One of these days. Pow! Right in the $5 on a dentist bill? How am I going to go to work? What am I going to use for lunch money?
Use your own money.
My own money? I ain't got a cent, Alice. I ain't got a cent.
Now, see, that's the neighbors. You and your screaming.
Yeah, well, I hope it is. Watch me take care of this. Oh. Well, what do you want?
Can I see you for a minute, Ralph?
Yeah, you can see me for a minute.
What do you say, Alice?
Hi, Ed.
I got a favor to ask you. I'd like to borrow $5. You see, my wife's mother's sick up in Syracuse, and she's got to get up there right away. It looks pretty serious, and I'm tapped out.
Well, gee, Norton, if I had the $5...
Well, look, I'll give it back to you on Tuesday when I get paid.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, pal?
Thanks a lot, Ralph. You're a sweet kid.
So you haven't got any money?
I haven't
got a cent, Alice. I haven't got a cent.
Well, I haven't got a cent. That money wasn't mine. I already spent it.
On what?
What do you think I am, a dope or something? I know tomorrow's our anniversary. I went out and bought you a present. And the guy's coming here with it any minute, and I won't have the money to pay for it.
Oh, gee, Ralph, I thought you forgot.
I never forget. There he is now.
Brandon,
Yeah?
I got a COD for $5.
Well, you might as well take it back, because I ain't got the...
Wait a minute.
So you ain't got any money, huh? And you accuse me of holding out.
Well, you didn't think I forgot our anniversary. I saved that up so you could take us out tomorrow night, you big lug.
Huh? Well, that's no expense for spending 64 cents for a jar of pickles.
That reminds me, I gotta have a pickle, Ralph.
Here we are, destitute, and she's gotta have a pickle.
I know, Ralph, but I gotta have a pickle right away.
I gotta have a pickle. I gotta have a pickle. I gotta have a... I gotta have a pickle. I gotta have a pickle. Ouch! That's the greatest news I ever heard in my whole life.
Ralph, wait a minute.
Boy, I gotta have a pickle. Me, your father. We gotta get a name for it. Look, if it's a boy, we'll name him after my Uncle Mike. If it's a girl, we'll name him after Aunt Kitty.
Ralph, stop making a fool out of yourself. The doctor told me...
I know what the doctor said. Go ahead, eat the pickles. Have a couple of pickles. Maybe it'll be twins.
Ralph. Ralph, can I please say something?
Go ahead, sweetheart. Say anything you want.
I got an allergy, Ralph. The doctor says it might be pickles, and he wants me to eat a lot of them so we can find out.
A little old allergy? An allergy? And you let me think. One of these days, Alice. One of these days.
Ralph, one of these days.
Oh. Oh.
I live and breathe a yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Hiya, Norton.
Hey there, what do you say, Ralph? Just a minute, I'll be right with you. I gotta make an entry in my bird-watching book here. I just seen a yellow-bellied sapsucker. Bird seen, yellow-bellied sapsucker, place where seen, Central Park. You know, one thing that bothers me. They're not supposed to be within 3,000 miles of here.
Well, how do you know it's a yellow-bellied sapsucker? Don't forget, last week you saw a robin with a wishbone in its mouth. You said it was a chicken hawk.
Nevertheless, I'm sure this is a yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Why are you sure it's a yellow-bellied sapsucker?
What else could it be? It's got a yellow belly and it was sucking sap.
I don't know why a man of your age watches birds.
Why shouldn't I watch them? They watch me, don't they?
The only bird that watches you, Norton, is a woodpecker.
I look, Ralph, to run of the litter.
Look, Norton, I asked to have lunch with you in the park because I got something very important I want to talk to you about.
What?
I want you to do me a favor.
What do you want?
I don't know, but somehow or another I made a mistake in the bus today, and I made the wrong change. I must have given somebody a $20 bill for a dollar bill. Now, I got to turn in my receipts to the cashier at 5 o'clock tonight. Will you lend me the money?
Look, Ralph, it's not that I'm against lending you money, and you can do anything you want with it. It's just what you don't do with it.
What don't I do with it?
You don't pay me back.
Look, Norton, don't lend me the money. All I want you to do is invest $20 in it.
What do you mean, invest?
I'll tell you what I mean. Norton, let's face it. I'm a man with big ideas. And sooner or later, one of those ideas are going to catch on. And when they do, I'm going to be a big shot. And do you know what happened to people who become big shots?
Yeah, they forget their relatives.
No, Norton. They incorporate. They incorporate. I'm going to become a corporation. Do you know what a corporation is?
Yeah, I know what a corporation is. When a person or a group of persons duly authorized to sell, distribute shares, become involved with the intention of the stockholders grouping about together with those shares with the intention of selling the shares, comes to an evil interest there.
How did you know that?
Ever hear of Merrill Lynch, Spears, Pearson, Bean?
Yes.
I got an office right outside of downtown sewer I work in.
Well, I'm glad you know what a corporation is, Norton, because then you'll understand what a great opportunity I'm offering you when I tell you that I will send you a percentage. For $20, a 20% percentage of the Ralph Cramden Corporation.
I like that. Trixie forgot the ketchup.
Of course, I can't give you too much stock. I can only sell you a few shares, but, well, I still think you'll make a profit on it. Well, isn't it appealing to you?
No, don't. I don't like liverwurst without ketchup.
You stop with the liverwurst? I'm talking high finance. Look, for $20, you get 20% of all the money I make over and above my salary.
Listen to me, will you, Ralph? My mother didn't raise no stupid children, you know. I work hard for the money I earn there, down in that sewer. It's no easy job, you know. Some days I get it right up the head. If I'm going to invest my money in any proposition, believe you me, it's gotta make sense. It's gotta have a sound, logical business foundation. Only then will I make the plunge, as we say in the trade.
Norton, I'm very happy to hear you speak like that. You sound like an intelligent man. And that's exactly the type man that I want in my corporation to be vice president. And if you give me the $20 and get 20% of my corporation, I am making you the vice president.
Me, a Veep? Now you're talking sense. Wait a minute, pal. Here, here's the $20.
Thank you. And I certainly am lucky to get a man like you for vice president.
I say that this calls for a toast. There you are.
Thank you.
To the corporation. Ralph Cramden, president. Edward L. Norton, vice president and chairman of the board. Wait a minute, hold it. Hold it, don't move. By Jove, it is another yellow-bellied sapsucker. Boy, oh boy, 2 yellow-bellied sapsuckers in the same day. Boy, I ought to phone the society about this.
What makes you believe anyone is going to believe you when you tell them you saw 2 yellow-bellied sapsuckers in a park where they're not supposed to be within 300,000 miles of?
Wait a minute, Rock. You got a point there. But I know how I can fix it. Birds seen, 2 yellow-bellied sapsuckers. Place where seen, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
I'm certainly lucky to get a man like you to be my vice president, Norton. Yellow-bellied sapsucker.
On that darn stove.
Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Boy, you're always burning something there. If it ain't your finger, it's my food.
It's no joke, Ralph.
I'm only kidding, sweetie. There. Feel better now?
No, it doesn't. I'm telling you something, Ralph. That stove is a booby trap. One of these days it's going to blow both of us to smithereens.
If you are hinting that I should buy a new stove, you'll have to get a better idea than that. Now, look, get to work on the old stove and cook my new supper.
You can cook your own new supper.
Don't think your attitude scares me, Alice. I'll get my own supper. I'm pretty good at it.
Hey there, Ralph. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm getting my own supper. Alice isn't feeling too good, so I'm doing her a favor.
Well, Ralph, I wanted to have a little talk with you about the corporation. I've been vice president for about a week now, and you ain't showing no profit. I had a stockholders meeting with myself, and I come to the conclusion that I'm getting a little impatient.
Haven't you got any business ethics? How can you interrupt the president of a corporation while he's eating?
All right, I'll wait till you're through. Ralph, could I have a banana?
Go ahead.
Ain't got no bananas. Could I have an apple?
Go ahead.
Ain't got no apples either. Could I have an orange?
Go ahead!
Haven't got any oranges either.
You want a peanut butter sandwich?
I don't like peanut butter.
I like apples.
Or bananas. Or orange. Hey, what kind of peanut butter is that? Is that the crunchy kind?
Yes, it's the crunchy kind, and I can prove it to you. When this jar hits your head, you'll hear a crunch.
Don't get excited, will you? Remember, you're talking to the vice president of Ralph Cramden Incorporated.
All I'd like to do is eat in peace.
Go ahead, who's stopping you? Fine thing for a president of a corporation to be eating. Peanut butter sandwich. You ought to be eating something that stick to those fat little ribs of yours.
Would you mind leaving this apartment and going back upstairs?
All right. All right. I'm going, but I got this to tell you. I'm going to leave your corporation in a state of bankruptcy. I'm withdrawing my $20. You told me that every time you turn around, I'd make money. Well, so far, you ain't been exactly no pinwheel. I thought the whole thing over, you know. You got a corporation, I got 20% of it. I got 20% of nothing. How can you get rich on 20% of nothing?
Is that what you're beefing about, 20%? All right, you got 30%.
It's 35% or nothing.
It's a deal.
It's a deal. Ralph, I hope I didn't offend you, Ralph, but, you know, the way I drive a hard bargain, I gotta watch out for my interests.
I gotta admit, you put it over on me that time, Norton. Come in.
Mr. Ralph Cramden?
Yeah?
My name is Frederick Carson. I'm an attorney.
An attorney?
My firm is handling the estate of the late Mary Monahan. I suppose you'll remember she used to ride on your bus.
Mary Monahan. That's the old lady I used to help on and off. She used to get on the bus for years. I didn't see her lately. I was wondering what happened to her. Gee, that's a shame.
Well, she didn't forget your kindnesses. She remembered you in her will. Now, the will is going to be read tomorrow, Friday morning at 10 o'clock at her apartment. Will you be there?
Well, I'll be there if you want me to. How come a poor lady like that's making out a will?
Well, she wasn't exactly poor.
She wasn't?
No. Her estate was valued at roughly $40 million. See you Friday.
How about that? $40 million! Alice! Alice! $40 million! I'm inheriting $40 million!
Ed, what happened?
What do you mean, what happened? He fainted, can't you see? Fine thing. Guy inherits $40 million and he faints. What am I saying? 35% of that belongs to me.
Ralph, the breakfast ready.
I haven't got time to eat breakfast.
Well, why not? It's only 8:30. The lawyer said they wouldn't read the will until 10.
Alice, why must you hide things where I can't find them? Where's the shoe polish?
In the top left-hand drawer.
It's not in the top hand drawer.
It must be there.
It must be, huh? It must be. It must be, but it's not. Don't always say it must be, Alice. What you mean is maybe, not must be. Maybe.
be it. Maybe.
You and your snide remarks.
Ralph, will you calm down a little bit? If you don't take it easy, you know, you'll be a nervous wreck by the time that will is read.
I am not nervous, Alice. I am not nervous. I may be a little excited, inheriting $40 million, but I am not nervous.
No, you're not nervous, Ralph. You're not nervous at all. You just read in Esquire where the well-dressed man always polishes his socks. I want to tell you something. Ralph, I know you're a little bit excited, but after all, the will hasn't been read yet. We don't know how much she's leaving you.
What do you mean we don't know?
You keep talking about millions, Ralph. It may just be hundreds.
What are you talking about, hundreds? She's leaving $40 million, isn't she? Said in the papers this morning she's only got one other relative. One living relative. A nephew. And she doesn't like him. The paper said she had no use for him.
Ralph, that's her own living relative, her own flesh and blood. He might contest the will.
Contested? Contested? Hardy, har. What do you mean, contested? Did he ever help her off a bus and help her on one? You may not realize this, Alice, but in a few hours I am going to be a very rich man.
Ralph, all I'm saying is don't count your chickens before they're hatched. And remember, Norton gets 35% of those chickens.
Don't worry, I can take care of him.
What do you mean? Ralph, you wouldn't cheat Norton out of his share.
Of course not. I'm not going to cheat him. Just going to try to do what's best for everybody. You know how people act when they get a lot of money? They go nuts. You know how Norton is. He's the nervous type. He'd really go nuts if he got his hands on anything. First thing you know, he'd quit his job in the sewer. Next thing he'd do is buy clothes, buy automobiles, yachts, start taking a tour around the world, drinking champagne, eating caviar. First thing you know, he wouldn't come home. Poor Trixie pleading with him, please come home, Norton. Him laughing at her. That'd be a nice thing, wouldn't it? After all she's done for him, pleading for him to come home and him laughing at her. Well, if you think that I'm going to do that to such a nice girl like Trixie, you're crazy.
Some coffee?
No, I already had breakfast.
How about a second breakfast?
I already had that, too. It'd be kind of ridiculous to have 3 breakfasts, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I will do, though. I'll start on my first lunch.
You. Hey, Alice. Oh, yeah. Norton. I'm glad you're here. I want to talk to you.
Hey, listen. It's getting late. We'll talk on the way down to the Monahan mansion. We'll talk on the way.
You don't think for 1 minute that you're going to the reading of the will with me, do you?
Well, of course I'm going, Ralph. You'll need me. You don't think of the small details, the little things. For instance, did you happen to think of that?
And what is that for?
The small details, Ralph. You can't come away from that place with $40 million in your pocket. You gotta have something to carry it in.
Hey, there's the vice president talking. Well, are you sure that a bag will hold $40 million? A bag like that?
Yeah, this'll do the trick.
Is that so? Why don't you make sure? Why don't you run upstairs and cut some paper money into the shape of dollar bills and see if they'll all fit in there?
The small details.
Is Trixie upstairs?
Yeah, she's upstairs. She's waiting till I get back. We are going to make a trip that I have always wanted to make.
A trip?
Yeah, now that we're getting into the millions, I'm going to do something that I always wanted to do. Going on a second honeymoon to Niagara Falls, only this time we ain't hitchhiking.
I'll just run up and see Trix.
All right. Come on, Ralph, will you snap it up? I'm anxious to collect that 35% of the $40 million.
What do you mean, collect it? What do you mean, collect it? You can't take that money out of the corporation. It's got to stay in there. That's what a corporation is for, to put money in and let it grow.
Look, this is grown enough. 35% of the $40 million belongs to the stockholders.
This is only the start. Look, as president of this corporation, already, from just $20 you gave me, I'm already making you millions. Look, you gotta leave it there. You gotta leave it in the corporation. Then I invest it. Then I reinvest it. And then reinvest it. Before I finish with you, pal, I'll have you out of that sewer.
$40 million, 35% of it belongs to the stockholders.
Will you stop saying $40 million? It's not $40 million, do you know? When you inherit $40 million, do you know how much you have left? Let me give you an example.
35% belongs to the stockholders.
Will you stop saying that? Now, look, this piece of paper represents $40 million. All right, I inherit $40 million. Right away comes federal income tax. Then comes the state tax. Then comes the city tax. Then a few miscellaneous taxes. Then you have to pay for the lawyers. And that is what is left of $40 million.
35% belongs to the stockholders.
Eat your breakfast. Come now, Fortune. You've got to eat, you know.
Is everything ready in here? Mr. Carson is going to read the will.
Everything's ready as it will ever be. But I'm worried about Fortune Bascom. He isn't eating. Oh, poor little dear. He misses Mrs. Monahan. Come, Fortune. Eat your breakfast.
Ah, there's the doorbell. It must be that Mr. Cramden that they were expecting. Mr. Carson and the others have been waiting. I'll tell them you're here.
Thank you very much. How do you do?
Hey, look. Today I seen a parrot.
Oh, will you stop? Now, look at Norton. I'm telling you now, and I'm telling you for the last time. Don't embarrass me here.
Can't I even look around?
All right, but don't touch anything.
What a grouch.
Boy, how about this place? This is real class, huh? Oh, beautiful. Bet you they spent at least $100 on the furniture in this room alone.
Sure. Hey, Ralph, look. I bet this guy had a rotten barber. Oh, there you are.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Carson? I'm sorry I'm late, but I was taking care of my corporation.
We were about to start without you, but there are some things that just can't wait. Like we say in the sewer, time and tide, wait for no man.
This is my business associate, Mr. Norton, Mr. Carson.
Yeah. This is Mr. Bradley, Mrs. Monahan's nephew.
Oh,
So you're the bus driver. I'm very glad to meet you.
No hard feelings, of course. You know how fickle fate can be.
Better luck next time. Well, if we'll all be seated now, we'll get on with
certainly.
it. This shouldn't take very long. This will is quite short, and there's no question as to its legality, so I shall skip the technicalities and get right down to the bequests. To Herbert Bascom, my butler, for his many years of faithful service, I leave the sum of $50,000.
Sorry, a little habit I picked up watching the quiz shows.
To my maid, Mary O'Donnell, I leave the sum of $25,000.
Some people are never satisfied.
To my nephew, Robert Hilliard Bradley, who by his gambling and philandering has shown himself to be utterly incapable of handling money, I leave the sum of $1, which will undoubtedly be promptly deposited with his bookmaker.
I hope you pick a winner with it.
Please, may I continue?
Certainly.
To Ralph Cramden, my favorite bus driver, I leave my fortune.
I'm rich! I'm rich!
Mr. Norton, please control yourself.
Rich, I'm sorry. I came so sudden. I wasn't expecting it.
Ralph Cramden has shown himself to be kind, sober, courteous, and conscientious. And to such a man, and only such a man, would I entrust my fortune.
Rich!
Please, I'm not finished. I'm not finished. Now, let's see, where was I? Oh, yes. To such a man, and only such a man, would I entrust my fortune. I therefore direct that immediately upon the reading of this will, Ralph Cramden take possession of my fortune.
Get the bag.
Bascom. Mr. Cramden, this is fortune, and according to the will, you take immediate possession.
Carson, am I to understand that this is the fortune?
Yeah.
Look out, Dan.
The show that gives away $99,000. Well, Mr. Parker, you've successfully gone over the $24,750 hurdle, and now it's time for you to make up your mind whether you're willing to go for the $49,500 question.
I am, Mr. Norris.
You mean you want to go ahead? Yes, sir. Good. I wish you luck, Mr. Parker. Now, remember, if you complete the $49,500 answer, you're entitled to come back next week and decide if you want to go for the really big money, the $99,000 answer. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready, Mr. Norris.
Very well. Now, this question for your $49,500 answer was prepared by an expert in the field of banking and finance, Professor Walter Newman. Your question has to do with something you see and handle every day, a dollar bill. Now, disregarding the serial number, tell me how many times the figure 1 appears on a dollar bill, either in numeral form or spelled out. You have 10 seconds to give the $49,500 answer. Time's up, Mr. Parker. What is your answer?
The answer is 25.
That's correct for the first part. Now, tell me how many times the word 1 appears and how many times the numeral 1 appears.
Well, the word 1 appears 16 times and the numeral 9 times.
You're absolutely right. Mr. Parker, you have just won yourself $49,500 of those dollar bills, and now you know you'll have the opportunity to come back and visit with us next week and decide whether you want to go for the $99,000. All right?
That's fine.
Congratulations, sir, and good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir. And now, who is our next guest, please?
Herb, here's our next guest from Brooklyn, New York, Mr. Ralph Cramden.
How do you do, Mr. Hamden? Now, there's nothing for you to be nervous about. Just relax. We're all your friends, and I'm trying to help you. Just relax and take it easy. It's really a pleasure shaking hands with you, Mr. Cramden. That's fine. Thank you very much. Now, tell me, sir, what do you do for a living?
I bribe a dus.
You bribe a dus?
A dus a bribe.
Just a bribe. Oh, I see. You're a bus driver.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, now, there's nothing for you to be nervous about, Mr. Cramden. Just relax and take it easy, and you'll get along a lot better. Now, tell me, sir, are you married?
Yes.
You're married. And what is your wife's name?
Mrs. Cramden.
Well, that's fine. Now, her first name, I meant.
Her? Who?
Oh, her.
Alice.
Alice Cramden, uh-huh. Now, I believe the announcer said you are from Brooklyn. Have you lived in Brooklyn all your life, sir?
My mother, the father, they were there. I guess.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Cramden. You know, I have a great deal of respect for bus drivers. It's always amazed me how you fellows who have this tremendous responsibility and the tremendous number of people that you have to deal with and the big machine, how you manage to remain so courteous and kind and considerate all the time.
Yes, sir.
Well, of course, there are exceptions. For example, the other day I was standing on Madison Avenue in the rain waiting for a bus, and as this bus driver bore down on me, I signaled for him to stop. And you know, instead of stopping, he went right by, went through a puddle and splashed mud all over me.
Was that you?
Mr. Cramden, I sure hope you win some money tonight because I've got a cleaning bill for you. And you know, now it's time for you to select a category. And I want you to be very careful in selecting this category because all the questions you'll be asked come from this one category. So take your time and make up your mind what your selection's going to be.
Popular songs.
Popular songs. Very good, sir. Now
I'm sorry to interrupt her, but our time is up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cramden. We seem to have run out of time, but we'd like you to come back next week and try for the first hurdle on the way to the $99,000 answer. Can you be with us?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cramden, and good night, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, no, Mr. Cramden. No. This way. Good night, Mr. Cramden. Good night. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
Oh, Alice, I could hardly wait till you got home. Hey, Ralph looked wonderful on television.
Oh, Trixie, it was so exciting.
Oh, I'll bet. Isn't Ralph here?
No, he decided to stay downstairs. He's waiting for people to go by and recognize him.
You can recognize him at this hour. Alice, it's dark out.
Oh, he thought of that. Look, there he is, standing under the streetlight with his hat off.
Hold on a second, but I don't know if I'd act any different, you know, if I were in his place, because, gee, if I were on a big television show and seen by millions of people. Ooh.
Oh, listen, Trixie, don't get me wrong. I'm very proud that Ralph is on this show.
Yeah.
The only thing is, I know Ralph. You know that way he has of steaming himself up and getting over-enthused? You know, he's apt to build himself way up to a letdown, and then he'll just feel miserable.
Yeah. But, Alice, just between us, hint to Ralph always to face the camera. Because when he turns profile, brother, he's the biggest thing on television.
Say, Trix, what about Ed? Did he see the show?
Oh, yeah. He watched it with the boys down at the bowling alley. Look, I bet he'll stop in here to see Ralph on his way upstairs, but I got to get up there now. Look, I'll see you in the morning, huh, honey?
All right. Night, Trix.
Well, I learned something tonight, Alice. You're never too old to learn something, and tonight I learned something. There isn't one person, not one person in this building that hasn't got a jealous nature.
Ralph, what are you talking about?
I stood down in front of this door since you left me. Not one person come up and congratulated me. And not only that, not even one person admitted that they saw me on the program.
Now, Ralph, how can you talk like that? Norton was over at the bowling alley with all your friends watching the show, and Trixie was just here to say she saw you on the show.
She was? Well, what did she think of me?
Well, she said you're the biggest thing on television.
You know, that Trixie's a good kid. And Norton's all right, too. There are two true blue friends. Well, they won't regret it. Because when I celebrate, they'll celebrate with me.
Celebrate what?
Celebrate the winning of the $99,000 answer. That's what. It won't be long now, sweetheart. We'll be living on Park Avenue. And will you see how different this furniture looks when it's in a Park Avenue apartment?
Ralph, aren't you being a little bit too ambitious? You've heard some of those questions. They get pretty tough after the first two.
So what? That's why I picked a subject that I know. Popular songs. I know all about popular songs.
I know, Ralph, but you're not an expert.
What do you mean I'm not an expert? Ever since I was a kid, Alice, I liked music, especially popular music. When I was growing up, that's all I did. I used to eat, sleep, and think music. I wasn't like those other bums around the neighborhood, you know, hanging around the pool room or hanging out in the corner. Not me. Every night in the week, I was up some ballroom listening to a dance band.
Ralph, I'd be very proud of you, you know, if you answered the first two questions and came home with $600.
$600? A mere bag of shells.
Ralph, will you please be sensible? They don't hand you the $99,000. You gotta answer questions, Ralph, and they're very tough questions.
I know what you're trying to say, Alice. What you're trying to say is your husband is too dumb to answer any questions. Well, that's where you're wrong. And for your information, a 12-year-old kid on one of these programs walked in and answered a $16,000 question. 12 years old she was. Stands to reason, me, a grown man, I must be able to answer the same questions that a 12-year-old kid can answer.
Spell anti-disestablishmentarianism.
I'll spell it. I'll spell it.
Well, go ahead.
I'll spell it when you give me $16,000 for spelling it. $16,000
for spelling it? I'll give you $32,000 if you can say it.
Bang, zoom.
Now, look, Ralph. I don't doubt that you know a lot about popular songs. Let's say you know all there is to know about popular songs. There is just one thing that you're overlooking, Ralph. You're going on a television show, a big television show. Millions of people are going to be looking at you, and big money at stake. Well, you're liable to get nervous, Ralph, and forget what you do know. Any person could do that.
Are you kidding? I'm at my best when I'm under pressure. I never get nervous.
Oh, that's right, I forgot. You're always calm. You have to be in the kind of work you do. You're a man who bribes the dust.
Go ahead, Alice. Try to discourage me. But you're getting no place, because I'm going for that $99,000 answer. And I'm not leaving one stone unturned. There'll be no chances for mistakes. I'm not leaving this house once this week. I'm staying in every night, and I'm studying every song that was ever written. I'm going to buy sheet music and study that. I'm going to buy records and study them. I'm going to rent a piano. I'm going to have Norton come down here and play the piano, every song he's ever heard, and I'm going to study them.
Ralph, that's going to cost us a fortune. It'll take every penny we have saved. We won't have 1 cent left in the bank.
When the smoke clears away, we'll have $99,000. Yes, sir. This is the time I'm going to get my pot of gold.
Just go for the gold. You've already got the pot.
Chariot,
Oh, here's the dress material that you said you wanted.
Oh, but you didn't have to make a special trip just for that.
Oh, I didn't. We went to the movies in the neighborhood, and so it wasn't out of our way to come here at all.
Well, why don't you sit down and have a cup of coffee?
Oh, I can't. Your father's waiting in the car, and he's double parked. How's the brain doing?
Oh, Mother. What a week. The piano and the phonograph have been going every single night until 3 o'clock in the morning. He's been fighting out the window with Mr. Garrity upstairs. Strangers have been dropping in here all the time to give him advice. Letters have been pouring in all the time. He's been staying home from work without any salary, paying for all of this stuff. He's going to have to win that $99,000 just to break even.
Where is he now?
He's down at Mrs. Manicotti's. She's helping him brush up on popular songs that were taken from Italian classics. This boy isn't missing a trick.
Well, I've got to go. I'll keep my fingers crossed for Ralph tomorrow night.
Thanks, Mom. Say hello to Pop for me.
What is she doing here?
Ralph?
Hello, Ralph. Well, tomorrow's your big night. I was talking to Alice about it, and there's just one thing
You can save your breath, because I know what the one thing is that you want to tell me. The both of you. That I should quit at the $600 question. Well, I'm not. I'm going on to the $99,000 answer.
But, Ralph, before you interrupted me, I was about to say that I hoped you'd go on to the $99,000 answer.
Well, Alice, I gotta admit that now and then your mother shows a small, tiny bit of wisdom.
As a matter of fact, I can't wait to hear you answer that question. I want to see the expression on your face when you miss it.
Why couldn't she have been with Custer when he got in that trouble, huh? Just for that, when we moved to Park Avenue, she ain't getting a new address.
Ralph, I must be crazy to argue with you about this. But you got us moving to Park Avenue, winning $99,000, and you haven't even answered the first question yet. I am going to bed.
Big deal. Stay in there.
Hey there, Rocky Ball.
Don't give me land, dee-lee-lee-lee, don't dee-lee-lee-lee. I got it. Don't Fence Me In, written by Cole Porter for the Picture Hollywood Canteen in the year 1944, produced by Warner Brothers.
Correct. Boy, I feel you're hotter than a firecracker. When you run into that master sermon, he's going to run out of hurdles, you know. How'd you do with Mrs. Manicotti?
I left her speechless.
Yeah.
She did everything in her power to stick me. I guessed the English name to every one of the Italian songs that she sang.
Oh, boy. Well, I bought her a few old movie-type songs and things like that. Don't look at the sheet music. No cheating now.
Don't have to look, pal.
All right.
You just play them and I'll name them.
All right.
Brush up on the songs. Now, let's not waste any time. Get going.
All right.
Will you wait a minute, please? Why must you always play da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da before you go in and play the song I'm trying to guess?
I told you once, I told you 100 times. It's the only way I can warm up before I play the piano. A pitcher warms up before he pitches a ball game. I gotta warm up that way before I play the piano. I hope I don't have to tell you this again. Are you ready?
Go ahead and play. That's all. Shuffle Off the Buffalo, written by Warren and Dubin for a little picture called 42nd Street. The year was 1932.
Absolutely right. All right, here's another one. Don't look at the music now.
Don't need it, my friend. Don't need it.
Now, this is a little change in tempo. Don't let it throw you.
All righty. Just Too Marvelous for Words, written by Johnny Mercer and Richard Whiting for a picture called Ready, Willing, and Able. The year was 1937.
Absolutely correct. Boy, you are. All right. This one might throw you. This one goes back a little ways. Ready?
Jealous McGarity.
Look, why don't you shut up in here? You're driving everybody crazy.
I'm not driving anybody crazy. You're just jealous, that's all. And do you know why you're jealous? Because you know that at this time tomorrow night, my picture will be on the front page of every newspaper in the country.
Well, so will mine. For killing you.
Ralph.
Hey, loudmouth, now you woke up my wife.
I realize that I cannot talk to Ralph because he is stubborn and unreasonable. But I have always had great respect for your sense of fair play, and so I appeal to you. It is late. People would like to go to sleep. I think you should stop playing the piano. And I am sure that you will agree with me, Ed, because you have always been fair and considerate. You are a reasonable man.
Don't let her soft soak you. Don't let her soft soak you. You're just as unreasonable as I am. Go ahead and play.
If you touch that piano again, I'll lose all my respect for you.
Go ahead and play, Norton, if you don't want to lose my friendship.
Oh, I'm on the spot. If I play the piano, I lose her respect. If I don't play, I lose your friendship. Why, oh, why was I blessed with this musical talent?
I don't care if it is the police. Let them in. Shh, quiet, everyone.
Guardamare come bella, spira tanto sentimento.
I have it. Take me back to Sorrento, 1898, written by Ernesto de Quisto.
I give up.
Well, that's the way it goes.
The whole house has gone crazy.
Going crazy? I suppose she's crazy because she wants to help me. Give me a little chance. Help me out with the names of songs. That's a little more than I can say for you.
Ralph, I've been trying to help you by being sensible. If you had listened to me in the first place, you could have avoided putting all this pressure on yourself.
For the last time, Alice, I'm telling you, I'm going for the $99,000 question.
For the last time, Ralph, I'll be very proud if you win the $600.
$600? Peanuts, peanuts. What am I going to do with peanuts?
Eat 'em like any other elephant.
Bang, zoom! Play the piano!
And now, the star of our show, her glory!
Thank you very much. And welcome to America's most exciting show, the $99,000 Answer. And now, Tom, who is our first guest, please?
Herb, our first guest ready to leap the first hurdle on his way to the $99,000 answer is our bus driver from Brooklyn, Mr. Ralph Cramden.
How do you do, Mr. Cramden? It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to be back here.
Now, I remember last week we had just got to the point in the program where you had selected your category popular song.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that right? Now, you've had a whole week to prepare. Tell me, have you done much studying?
Oh, just a little.
Oh, just a little spare time sort of thing,
Sort of
huh?
spare time.
I see. All right.
No
let's
sense
get-
of going over what you already know.
I guess you're right, sir. That's right. Now, let's get on with our competition. May we have the card, please, explaining the game and the first question. Thank you. I have here your first question. Now, Mr. Cramden, you know how the $99,000 answer works. We start with the first question worth $100, then our second hurdle is worth $600. After that, our hurdles become higher, and naturally, the questions become a little more difficult. Our fourth hurdle is worth $6,187.50, and if you answer that, the next one is worth $12,375. Now then, we keep rolling along and doubling the money until finally you get to the $99,000 answer. Now, you can stop any time you feel like it and take what money you've won up to that point. Now, is that all clear, Mr. Cramden?
It certainly is, and if I may, I'd like to make a little statement.
Why, surely, go right ahead.
I intend to go straight on, forge ahead to the $99,000 answer.
That's wonderful, Mr. Cramden. I think it's only fair to point out to you, though, that you don't need to make that decision now. You can stop at any time you want to and take the money you
Well, I made up my mind, and I thought you might as well know it, and I know it, and they know it, and everybody knows it.
I see. Well, so tell me, have you discussed this at home? Have you talked it over with your wife?
Yes, I did, and regardless, I'm going for the $99,000 answer.
I see. Well, that's quite a decision. I guess you really know your popular songs.
Well, I don't like this.
All right, Mr. Cramden, I wish you a lot of luck, and here's your first question for $100. Are you ready?
I certainly am.
All right, Mr. Cramden, for $100, who is the composer of Swanee River?
Swanee River.
That's right, Swanee River. Can we have a few bars of Swanee River, Jose?
That's Swanee River?
That's right. Now, who's the composer? Your time's running out. Hurry up. You better take a guess.
Ed Norton?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Cramden. No, the correct answer is Stephen Foster. But thanks so much. You've been a wonderful contestant and a swell sport. Goodbye, Mr. Cramden. Goodbye, Mr. Cramden. I'll be seeing you.
I'll be seeing you, Irving Kane and Sammy Fain, 1938.
Oh, Mr. Cramden, it's all over now.
It's all over now. Basie Simon, 1927.
No, good night, Mr. Cramden.
Good night. There were two songs, Good Night. It was Good Night, Irene, written by Lomax and Ledbetter. Good Night, Sweetheart, written by Rudy Valley and Ray Noble. No. Then there was another.
This way, sir.
Please. Please was sung by Ben Crosby and the Big Crosby.
Checking new installation. Bensonhurst 07741. Okay, thank you. Everything's in working order, miss.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you ever so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Trixie? This is Alice. Yeah. Guess where I'm calling you from? No, I'm home. In my apartment. Yeah, I got a phone. Just now. Oh, Trixie, it's the most beautiful phone you ever saw. It's black. Yeah, rush right down and see it. Okay.
But after 15 years, how did you ever get Ralph to change his mind?
I didn't. He doesn't know anything about it yet.
You mean you had this phone put in without telling him?
That's right.
Yeesh.
Well, I just had to do it, Trix. You know, every time the bus company wants to get in touch with Ralph, they got to send a man over here. And ever since my mother moved out to Astoria, I just haven't been able to get in touch with her at all. So I had to have a telephone, but the only trouble is I don't know how I'm going to break it to Ralph. If I could just get him in a good mood before he sees it.
Well, you better get him in a good mood while he's still out in the hall, because he's going to see that as soon as he comes through the door.
Yeah. I know. I'll hide it.
Yeah, good idea.
Go right in here.
Yeah, that's swell.
Then I can wait, you see, till I get him in a good mood, and then
Yeah.
I'll tell him about it.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, Alice.
Okay, Trix.
Well, hiya, sweetheart.
Hiya, dear.
And how is the charming Mrs. Norton?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. I'll see you later, Alice. I better be going.
All right, Trix.
Lovely girl, that Trixie.
Oh, Ralph, I'm so glad you're in a good mood, because there's something I just got to tell you.
Oh, hey, before you tell me anything, let me tell you something. You know that guy that works down, he's a bus driver down at the depot, Joe Lustig?
Uh-huh.
You know, the guy that's always making those stale jokes about me being slightly overweight?
Mm-hmm.
Well, last night he goes home to dinner, see, and he sits down. No sooner does he sit down to eat, the telephone rings. And they want him to come down and take some guy's place who's sick, you know, take over the shift. Well, he gets on. He says, I don't want to do this. He starts complaining and beefing. You know, he says, it's not my turn.
Oh, whose turn was it?
It was my turn. But because we haven't got a telephone, they can't get me. So he had to go down and take over the shift. Imagine that. I get out all the dirty work because we haven't got a phone. Well, anything to eat?
Yeah. I'll get you supper for you right away, Ralph.
All right. What did you want to tell me?
Oh, that? I took your blue pants to the cleaners.
Oh, fine. Well, I'm going in and wash up. I'll be right out now.
All right, Ralph.
Did I just hear a telephone?
A telephone? Oh, yeah, I know. It's the windows open.
Could have swore it was right in this room.
It sounds that way. Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I have to listen to other people's telephones.
You didn't close the window all the way. Hello? No, it isn't. You have the wrong number. All right, Ralph. Kill me.
Alice, that phone is going out.
If you'll calm down for 1 minute, I'll give you a dozen good reasons why we need that phone.
Yeah, and I'll give you a big reason why we can't have the phone. We can't afford it.
Oh, Ralph, a telephone isn't a luxury anymore. It's a necessity.
A necessity, huh? They put this in this afternoon. I'll guarantee you've been on it 30 times already.
I made one call, Ralph. One call. I spoke to Trixie.
Trixie? Upstairs? You called her on the phone to talk to her upstairs? What's the matter? Yelling out the window is too good for you now? What, was it raining out?
Yelling out the window is bad manners.
Don't you make any nasty remarks about my mother. She's been yelling out the window for 80 years.
Yeah? And before she lost her voice, there were more people listening to her than to Amos and Andy. Now, you listen to me, Ralph. That phone is staying here. Everybody but us has a telephone. All you're worried about is the money. Well, you can just stop worrying because I'll figure out some way to pay for that phone. I'll just, I'll cut down on something.
I know what you'll cut down on. My food. That's what you'll cut down on, Alice. My food. We'll have a phone, but I won't have anything to eat.
Oh, Ralph.
Don't old Ralph me. I'm sick and tired of hearing that old Ralph. The bills will get bigger and bigger, and I'll get less to eat. I'll start losing weight. Then you know what I'll look like?
Yeah, a human being.
Oh, are you gonna get yours?
Listen, Ralph. If you'd just stop being so stubborn, you'd realize that we do need a phone. It is just as important for you as it is for me.
Oh, it has nothing to do with me, because when I'm working all day, you'll be making calls. And then when I'm home at night, you'll be getting them. That phone is for you. You.
Hello? Yeah. It's for you.
Hello. Shut up.
All right, Ralph. What'd you hang up on Norton for?
Because he's a nut, calling me up to congratulate me about having a telephone. Now, look, let's get something straight right now, right here and now. A man's home is just like a ship. And on this ship, I am the captain. I am the captain of this ship. Do you understand that? You are nothing but a lowly third-class seaman. That's all you are. Your duties are to get the mess, swab the deck, and see that the captain feels good. That's all you have to do. Remember, you're nothing but a lowly third-class seaman. I'm the captain. Where are you going?
Seaman Cramden, third class, is retiring to the poop deck until this big wind blows over.
Hey. What's the idea of hanging up on me on the phone and just calling to tell you how happy I was that you finally come to your senses and got a telephone?
Is that so? Well, that phone's going out in the morning. Look, I know a phone is a necessity, but you don't know Alice like I know Alice. She and her mother get together on that phone, that's the end of everything. If her mother caught a cold, she'd be on that phone 20 times a day just to say gesundheit. First thing you know, the neighbors find out I got a phone call. If they start coming in here, sponging on me, can I call this one up? Can I call that one up?
Hey, Ralph, that reminds me. Can I use your phone?
Didn't you just hear what I said?
Just one call.
Is it an important call?
Look, would I ask you if it wasn't important?
Go ahead, but make it short.
Thank you.
Will you make the call?
Thank you.
Was that the important call you had to make?
Well, isn't knowing the right time important? Besides, I didn't talk too long, did I?
You're going to pay me for that call. You're going to pay me for that call.
I hate to bring this up, Ralph, but you leave me no other choice. In the past 15 years, you've used my phone a few times, you know.
All right. Don't throw that up to me. Just tell me how many times I use it, and I'll pay you for it.
All right, I'll tell you. You owe me $176.30.
Let me have that, and I'll check it with my figures.
Oh, no, you don't.
What do you mean, no, I don't?
Yep.
Oh.
What was that?
I'll tell you what that is. She wanted to find out if I'm still here. She can't wait to get on that phone and start gabbing with everybody.
Of course she won't get on the phone. Don't be silly. She's going to run up a big bill when you go away or something.
All right, pal. We'll make believe we're going out bowling. As soon as I get down the street, I'll duck into a candy store and make a call. I'll call this number, and I'll bet you $10 that it's busy. Bensonhurst 07741. Take your...
We're going bowling now, Alice. Be back later.
Hello. I'm sorry to bother you, Mrs. Cramden, but I was hoping maybe you could help me.
Oh, sure. What's the matter?
Well, a friend of mine's babysitter disappointed them, and well, I was hoping you might know someone.
Oh, gee, I'd love to help you out, but I don't know anyone. See, wait a minute. How much does a babysitter get?
50 cents an hour, and these people only live 3 blocks from here.
Mr. Simpson, I'll do it.
Oh, that's fine. What's your telephone number?
Well, have you got a pencil in there?
Yes, I have. Right here.
Bensonhurst.
Mm-hmm.
Bensonhurst.
Bensonhurst.
0. 77. 41.
41.
And by the way, before I forget, since I don't want Ralph to know about this, could you ask your friends to call me before 6? Because that's when he usually gets home.
Oh, sure, I understand. Now, these people that you're sitting for tonight are the Bartfells.
Uh-huh.
And they live at 383 Himrod Street, apartment 4D.
383. I'll remember that, and I can be there in about 15 minutes.
Oh, that'll be fine, Mrs. Cramden. How can I ever thank you?
Oh, Mrs. Simpson, I can't thank you enough.
Well, goodbye.
Goodbye. You tell them I'll be right over.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
So you heard me coming, huh? And got off the phone.
Ralph, I wasn't on the phone.
Don't stand there and give me a bare-faced alibi like that you weren't on the phone. I've been calling this number the last 15 minutes, and it's been busy. If I called Bensonhurst 07740 once, I called it 400 times, and each time it was busy.
Bensonhurst 07740.
That's right, and each time it was busy.
Mm-hmm. Well, our number is Bensonhurst 07741. I want to tell you something, Ralph. We've had our differences before. We've argued and we've fought and everything else, but everything was always out in the open. Each one knew how the other one felt. But this rushing in here like this, why didn't you just come in and ask me if I was on the phone? Didn't you think I'd tell you the truth, Ralph?
Guess I had the wrong number.
I guess I married the wrong number, Ralph.
That's fine, Frank. That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay. How'd you like the show last night?
Oh, great, Harvey, just great.
The wife and I have a date tonight. When I called her from the office this afternoon, she still hadn't found a sitter.
Say, why don't you call the woman we used last night?
Huh?
Oh, she's very, very nice, very, very good.
What's her name?
Alice Crandon. She lives right near you, too. Look, I'll give you her phone number.
Hey, that sounds great. I'll write it down in my book as soon as I get out of the chair here.
Great. All right. The other barber will be here in just a minute.
Okay, pal. Norton, are you sure this is gonna work? Don't you think I ought to call her up and see if she's still steamed at me?
Oh, no, I like this way better. Complete surprise. You walk in there with flowers, candy, smooth shave, you know, the skin a woman loves to touch. It'll work.
But suppose it doesn't work?
What do you got to lose? You can smell the flowers, eat the candy. Tomorrow morning, you don't have to shave.
I guess maybe you're right. After I tell her she can keep the phone, that ought to please her.
Certainly. And wait till she finds out that you're giving up the lodge meeting tonight to take her to the floor show at the Hong Kong Gardens. You're a cinch.
You're right.
Who's next?
That's me, pal.
Hey.
Haircut?
No, just a shave. What's the matter with you? Don't you realize that this is this man's place of business? How would you like him to come down to the sewer where you working? How help himself to anything down there?
Help himself to what?
Sit down and read a magazine.
Hey, Ralph. Esquire.
Will you sit down?
All done, Mr. Wallstetter. Thank you. I better give you that phone number now, Harvey.
Oh, that's right. Look, you think she's free tonight?
Oh, yeah. Look, her husband's busy on Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, you know? Just make sure you call before 6. And here you are. Let's see. Oh, there it is, thing. The phone number is Bensonhurst 07741. Got it? And her name is Alice Crandon.
Who was that guy?
Woolstetter, Harvey Woolstetter.
Harvey Woolstetter. Wait. Leave me alone. I'm going to take him apart.
Wait a minute, Ralph. Maybe he's talking about some other Alice Crampton.
Another Alice Crampton? With Bensonhurst 0?
Remember last night you were wrong.
Maybe you're right. But I got to find out.
Wait a minute. If you go home now and accuse her of anything and she's not wrong, she'll never forgive you.
All right. But I just got to go home and find out. I won't let on.
Listen.
I'll walk in. I'll be cheerful, happy,
The most
pleasant.
important thing of all, when you walk in there, don't let her suspect that anything is wrong.
I won't. I'll be pleasant. I'll be smiling.
Wait a minute. That'll be a dead giveaway. Why don't you walk in like you always do?
Leave me alone.
Yes, Mr. Wallstetter, I have a pad and pencil now. Uh-huh. 465 Van Buren Street, apartment 3C. Uh-huh. Oh, dear, that's awfully early. You see, my husband isn't home from work yet, and I have to give him his supper, and I'll make it as soon as I can. Goodbye. Hi, sweetie.
Well, who are you talking to on the phone?
Oh, that was nobody, Ralph. That was the wrong number.
Oh, wrong number.
Uh-huh.
Guess you get a lot of wrong numbers now that you got a phone, huh?
Yes, you'd be surprised.
Uh-huh.
Well, your supper's ready. How about eating?
I'm not hungry yet.
You're always hungry as soon as you come home from work, Ralph.
Yeah, I know, but I thought tonight I'd just sit down and relax a little bit before I ate.
All right, you just relax. Are you hungry yet?
What is this big rush to get me to eat?
Well, there isn't any rush, Ralph. I just know it's your lodge meeting night, and you always like to get there on time.
Oh. Well, I'll go in and put my uniform on.
All right.
Huh?
Here's juice, Ralph. And come on over and...
go. Better eat your soup while it's hot.
It's too hot to eat.
Oh, well, then you shouldn't eat it if it's that hot. Here, dear. Go. What would you like for dessert, Ralph?
Dessert?
Yeah.
Look, why don't you give me some cornflakes and cream, and we can take care of tomorrow's breakfast, too, while we're at it. What is this rush?
Was I rushing you?
Were you rushing me? What have you got to do that you want me to hurry up like this?
Well, all right, Ralph. I might as well tell you the truth. I know it's your lodge meeting night, so there's a movie that I want to see, and I just thought I'd catch the early show.
Oh, you're going to a movie?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll tell you what. Maybe I won't go to the lodge meeting tonight. I'll go to the movie with you.
Oh, no, Ralph. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't disturb your going to the lodge meeting for the world. Besides, you wouldn't like this movie.
What's the name of it?
It's, I don't know.
Oh, you're right. I'd hate that one.
Ralph, I mean, I don't know the name of the movie, but you know it's a love story. And I know you have no interest in love stories.
Guess maybe you're right. Well, go ahead. I don't want to hold you up.
Oh, you're a dear, Ralph.
Have a good time.
Thank you, darling. I will.
I bet you will. Norton! Norton!
What do you want, Ralph?
Come on down. Back! What are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack or something? Make some noise when you walk in here.
Where's Alice?
Where's Alice? She went over to see Harvey Waldstetter. That's where she is.
She told you that?
Oh, no, she didn't say that. Made up some lie about going to the movies, you know. Didn't even know the name of it.
What are you going to do?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I got his address out of the telephone book. I am now going over and take him apart piece by piece. And when I finish with that snake in the grass, I'm going to tell Alice once and for all, that's it. I never want to see her again. I got along without her before I got married to her, and I'll get along without her again. Just say it's all over, it's through, done with. Not. I don't want to lose her.
Well, I hope he doesn't lose her. She's such a good cook.
Well, here's to you, Helen. May the next 10 years be as wonderful as these have been. Mrs. Cramden?
Yes.
Come in, won't you?
Uh-huh.
I'm Harvey Waldstetter. This is my wife, Helen.
Hello. I'm sorry if I've kept you.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. Look, sweetie, we better go.
All right, Mrs. Cramden, I'll look and see if Harvey Jr.'s still awake. He's sound asleep. You know, he always sleeps right through. You won't have any trouble with him at all.
Well, I'll look in on him later anyway.
Good.
Have a good time.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Good night.
Here.
What am I doing here? Don't you think the shoe should be on the other foot? I don't have to ask you what you're doing here. Well, isn't this cozy? Cocktail time, huh? Well, where is he?
Where is who?
Where is Harvey?
Harvey?
Yeah, Harvey. I want to see Harvey. Come on out of there, Harvey! Come on, Harv! I know you're in there, Harvey!
Ralph, you're making a very big mistake.
I am. Well, you see the mistake I make out of Harvey. If you don't come out of there, Harvey, I'm coming in after you. Come on, Harv! is that?
That's Harvey Wallstetter Jr. I'm taking care of him.
You mean you're babysitting?
That's right, babysitting. Come on, sweetheart. Go back to bed.
Gee, I never knew Davy Crockett was so fat.
Guess I made a little mistake.
You don't have to say anything, Ralph, because most of this was my fault. I never should have tried to hide it from you. I just thought that if I did a little babysitting a few nights a week, I could pay for the phone myself. That way, you wouldn't have the worry of the added expense. But I never should have done it without telling you.
You were right, honey. You're always right. It's just unfortunate that you got a clam like me for a husband, that's all. I don't know what's the matter with me. I don't think there's anybody that's got a better wife than I got. But I gotta run around acting like a maniac all the time. Screaming, accusing, yelling. I only do it for one reason. I'm so much in love with you that the slightest thing makes me jealous. Just thinking of you looking at another guy drives me nuts.
Ralph, we have a phone now, so you can call and tell me as often as you want.
Baby, you're the greatest.
Xin chào các bạn, hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn tô màu với tranh những cành hoa. Các bạn cùng mình tô nha. Đầu tiên mình tô cành lá màu xanh là cây. Nhị hoa mình tô màu vàng nhé. Cành hoa này mình tô màu hồng. Các bạn nhớ theo dõi hết video để xem thành quả của mình nha. Các bạn ơi, vậy là chỉ với ý tốt mình đã hoàn thành xong bức tranh ngày hôm nay rồi đấy. Các bạn hãy cho mình biết ý kiến của các bạn về bức tranh này nhé. Video của mình xin được kết thúc ở đây. Các bạn đừng quên nhấn like và đăng ký kênh ở phía dưới để theo dõi những video tiếp theo của mình nha. Bye bye.